Hi everybody, welcome to Love Starts in the Kitchen. I'm Angie Jones, and you're probably wondering, why am I wearing a robe while we're filming? Well, it's at the end of the day and I want to make breakfast tonight so that way it's all ready for us tomorrow morning. And breakfast is not one of my favorite meals to make because I'm just not awake in the morning. I'm not an early riser. I really don't like breakfast anyway. I probably wouldn't eat it unless my husband was here. So I have to fix something for him, so I end up eating too. But I found a really convenient, easy way to make oatmeal in the morning. And it is so easy. You don't have to do anything. You literally put everything in the night before, and in the morning it is all done. And it turns out the most beautiful texture. It's pudding-like, and it's really hydrated. And the little flakes of oatmeal are not so flaky, which I don't really like that. I like them kind of blown out and really hydrated. So it tastes more like a pudding instead of like oatmeal, which is not necessarily my favorite. But anyway, try this recipe. It's magic oatmeal in my eyes. So first of all, we're going to use our little mini crock pot. If you're making this for 2 to 4 people, it's the perfect size. You really don't need to bring out the big old crock pot. You use the small one that sometimes you get with the big one as a bonus. So anyway, we were rarely using this one. And one day we're like, well, let's just use it for oatmeal. And ever since then, we've been doing that. So what I did is I sprayed the interior with a little avocado oil so that way we don't get any sticking, and it's easy to clean up. There for a while, we tried the Crockpot liners, and they were good because you could just yank them out and throw them in the trash can when you were done. But I felt like that was a lot of waste. And then you're also putting a plastic in there. So I figured, why not? Why not just do a spray, and then you can just rinse it out, and it cleans equally as easily. So from now on, we just use the spray. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 cups of water, just put it in. I like to put the cinnamon in now because then it kind of absorbs more of the water and doesn't float around. And I just eyeball this. I don't really measure it. So I just sprinkle maybe like a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a half. Let's see, that looks about right. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the apples in. And I just peeled this and I diced them up. And this is like 1 small apple. If you have a bigger apple, you might want to use half if it's just for 2 people serving, this is what this is for 2 people. But it's very generous servings. And then I'm going to take and use a half a cup of the Quaker Oats organic oats. Now, and they're old-fashioned, so that don't use the fast cooking kind because you're cooking it too long and it won't turn out as nice. We were using just the regular oats, but we switched when we found out some of the pesticides and things like that were in the regular oats, and this seemed like a better way to go since we were eating it every day and we were eating it to be healthy. So we bought the Quaker Oats organic, and I have to say that my husband and I, we did a taste comparison, and I think they taste better than the regular oats. I'm not sure why, but they do. And I'm going to take a half a cup of oats, not a lot, right? Half a cup, sprinkle it in. And I keep our organic oats in this really cool canister. I think we got this on Amazon. We also got the oats on Amazon. I will put a link in the description box, so if you would like to do the same thing, you can at home. It's really convenient, and I even keep this in here when the oats go down a little bit, so that way you don't even have to look for the measuring cup. So I'm just going to give this a little stir just to incorporate all of the ingredients, and also to make sure that the cinnamon does not float to the top and then it's just to the sides only. I want it incorporated into our oatmeal. So give it a really good thorough stir. And then we're going to put the lid on. And I put it on low. And my husband was very genius about this. We're a little old school. We have the old school timer here that will turn on. I think it turns on at around 11 p.m. and then it will go off at 6:30 in the morning, which is when about the time we get up in the morning. So that way it'll be all done and it turns off and you don't really have to do anything. It's like a no-brainer. You don't have to think about turning off anything because it automatically turns itself off and everything will be done perfectly in the morning. And so we're going to let this set overnight and then we'll see you in the morning and then we'll show you how we eat it, how we serve it, what we put on our oatmeal, and I think you'll really like it. So good night. We'll see you a little later. Good morning. Our oatmeal is all done this morning, so we don't have to do any cooking, and I'm so glad because I really don't feel like cooking this morning. So let's open up and see what's going on here. Here, I'm going to put this guy over here. And then look at that. Our apples are all baked and cinnamony. And I'm just going to give it a little stir before I put some in my bowl this morning. Doesn't that look good? It's all, what I like about this oatmeal is look at how everything is very cooked. You don't have the flaky oatmeal like you do if you cook it on the stovetop. Even if you cook it for 5 minutes like they say to, it never is blown out like a pudding, which is what I like. It's so delicious. So okay, let's put some in the bowl and give myself a little serving here. I want more apples. Okay, here we go. There we go. That looks like a good amount. And then what we like to do, my husband especially, I don't always put nuts on mine. I kind of like it plain, but I'm going to put it on for you this morning like he does it, deluxe. So he'll usually put a few pecans on, just kind of crumble them on like that. And then we have some pistachios too. We can do that a little bit. So that way you get a little more protein and it has more holding power and staying power for you. So that way you are not just eating carbs. And here's our lovely sunflower seeds. Give a little sprinkle of that. Those are so good. I love those. And then we have our pumpkin seeds. So you're going to get all the goodness of all the nuts, all the nut proteins, which are really, really good for you. There we go. And then we have some almond milk that I'm going to just kind of put onto this, float it on the sides there. So you can have a little dip into it as you're eating it. And it makes it just have another additional flavor. I think next time I want to try the coconut milk though. I hear that's very good for you. And then here we go. Look at this. Ooh, look, the sun's even catching it. Ha ha ha. That's so nice. Oh, it went away. And then we're going to take a little bite here. And I know it's going to be delicious because it always is. Yum. Mmm. Mmm. Creamy, crunchy, pudding-like. And I didn't have to do anything when I got up this morning. You saw, you just dip, put it in your bowl, and you eat. You don't have to work at anything, which is perfect for me because I don't like making breakfast. So give it a try. The recipe will be in the description box below. It's a really loose recipe, but you can see what I do here. But anyway, enjoy and have a great day. Thanks for joining me today at Love Starts in the Kitchen. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and like it, as well as subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'd never miss an episode. And always remember to keep love in your kitchen.